Hi everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel, An American Professor. In this video, we're going to be discussing the display or rendering of images or array data using the Matplotlib method known as imshow. So you call it using plt.imshow. And here I'm showing a number of useful options or keyword arguments you can specify to customize the display of your image or array data. So the main thing you have to pass in as a positional argument is your 2D array we want visualized. You also have to specify CMap, which is the color map that'll be used. So that'll map from particular values or floats within your array or any number to a specific color within the color map, the range of possible colors. We'll talk more about color maps shortly. And in this video, part 4 of the Matplotlib tutorial series, we'll go over a number of the common color maps that are used. So as a first example of using imshow, let's create a 50 by 50 NumPy array of normally distributed 2D data. And we'll use the default color map. So here in this line, we call data equals np.random.randn to create our 50 by 50 2D array, and we call imshow directly on it. We also create a color bar using plt.colorbar, and then we show it. And this is the output. You can see it's very useful for displaying your data, maybe finding some kind of patterns in it. And I'll let your imagination run a little while, but now let's go on to discussing the importance of color maps. So choosing the right color map for the task at hand is not always straightforward. You have to consider the data set you're visualizing. What are the minimum and maximum values within that data? So the range of, that'll impact the range of possible colors. And you may want to check, is there a standard within your field that experts expect to see? But one thing that you can do always is use a perceptually uniform color map so that equal steps or changes in your values of your data correspond to equal changes in color space. And that is known as a perceptually uniform color map. Researchers have found that humans best perceive monotonically increasing lightness through the color map. It's easier to interpret by a viewer. So changing values, equal magnitude of change in values of your data should correspond to equal changes in color and within your color map. So let's discuss some of these perceptually uniform sequential color maps. Some of them are Viridis, Plasma, Inferno, Magma, and Cividis. By default, Python uses the Viridis color map. So let's experiment with the 4 others and see what they look like. You've already seen Viridis, so let's show the others. You can specify changing the color map through the CMap keyword argument. So, Cividis to Plasma. To me, Magma and Plasma look kind of similar, but I think Inferno has a nice change from negative to positive values, and Cividis may be nice for certain applications as well. But you can never go wrong with just using the default Viridis color map because it's perceptually uniform. So some other possible figure modifications one may want to do with plt.imshow is you can specify a different set of X ticks and Y ticks rather than the ones automatically generated for you by Matplotlib by calling and setting plt.xticks and plt.yticks respectively. You can also add vertical or horizontal lines to your figure with plt.vlines or plt.hlines. You can also add text to a specific point on your plot with plt.annotate. Other useful things for plots in Matplotlib, not just specific to imshow, are you can use plt.fillbetween to fill between curves. You can scale axes, both x and y axes, using plt.semilogx or plt.semilogy. Or you can even scale both axes using plt.loglog. And as you've seen in one of the examples from the previous videos is You can add a title to your plot using plt.title, and you can visit this link for more about Matplotlib and PyPlots for some more options. And this is it for the Matplotlib tutorial series. This is the end of part 4 and the end of the whole series on Matplotlib. And creating plots, different kinds of plots, changing dynamically or static plots, changing your static plots. Some things to note are that dynamic plots and interactive plots were not covered in this tutorial series, so that can be your next stepping stone, and maybe I'll have some videos on that in the future. Thank you. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to help the channel grow. Have a blessed day. Goodbye.